So for this video, we are going to be doing deck testing with a really familiar list, so it's hard to call it true testing, but this is my standard Mid Dagoth list. However, for these couple of games, we're going to be playing Torval Extortionist in place of Blood Dragon, just for testing purposes. It might not even come up in these two games, but we're going to try it. So yeah, here's the list if you want to take a screenshot. The cards that are over here are Mournhold Trader, Satanine Courier, and Shrieking Harpy, if you're having trouble seeing those. And without any more looking at it, because we're pretty familiar with this list around here, we're going to go dive into two games like we always do, win or lose, for the deck testing videos, and see if the Extortionist matters. I have a feeling that over a long course of games I would probably prefer Blood Dragon, because the ability for it to fight for the board from any lane and or bypass guards, I think is more important in a list like this than the ramp. The 7 attack is obviously nice. The ramp has the potential to send you up into giants and things like that. Against Assassin, I think this is fine. But overall, I have a feeling that I would just ultimately prefer Blood Dragon in this list. But we're gonna try this. Like I said, it might not even matter. We might just never draw the card in these two games. But this is what I was considering running, considering testing. There's our good friend Satanine. There is also a case to be made about maybe dropping Satanine to run the new Sword of the Inferno. However, I still prefer Satanine in lists that I'm running American. Daggerfall, great top deck for us. Go ahead and windmill that over there. We're okay if it loses the ward if we draw a tome. Little curious about what kind of assassin we're playing against, because this is a weird one. It's clearly some sort of combo assassin, because they're playing Shadow Marking. And they gave us a maple shield. Okay. So what kind of assassin deck
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
wants maple shield? Is this the... I wonder if it's the Petamax one with Dragonstar Rider where they're trying to do Ice Spike Thorana combo? Because it's certainly feeling that way at the moment.
Let's heat things up. I come bearing gifts.
We're gonna do this just to saturate our Magicka a bit, because they don't, without direct damage, they don't have a good way to kill that. They could shackle it. So there is a deck floating around that's a Ice Spike Thorana deck that cycles through with Shadow Markings and Dragonstar Riders with a bunch of cheap items, so that you basically filter your entire deck till you just have Thorana and Ice Spikes and you win with those. So that means we're on a bit of a clock here. And that's okay, as long as we can start pressuring them. Now they got a lot of cards in hand, so we can maybe make them burn some key pieces here. Like we have the potential to make them overdraw and maybe burn Thorana, and then you just win. It's kind of like if you're playing against Abomination Scout and you make them burn Journey, you just win.
This is interesting.
So that is, I think, where we're headed here.
I'll kill you where you stand. I abhor violence.
Well, it's just a loot. But yeah, as you can tell, their deck is entirely designed for cycling through, so we have to generate as much pressure as we can.
Gone.
So Cliff Racers are going to be flying hard and fast here.
Move in shadow.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
Wouldn't be shocked if we start seeing some shackles here soon to slow us down. Alright, they got 8 cards in hand, so we can still pretty well make them overdraw.
Blood and fate. 6th house.
Actually, I think that doing that is fine. And then... I don't know, it's probably a misplay there. I probably should have tomed on this before I swung. Because then they would have overdrawn another card. Like, I actually feel pretty bad about that. Oh well. Nothing I can do about it now. It's not the first play mistake I've ever made, and it certainly won't be the last. We're going to throw it on here anyway, just because if it attacks, then they can't clear. But looks like we won anyway. We generated enough pressure. We quickly identified what they were trying to do. It's a neat deck when it works. Like I said, it's something I've seen Petamax piloting. Corey Millhouse as well has piloted it. Now the downside is we didn't get to see Extortionist in action here, but at least you did get to see the beginning workings of the new Ice Spike Thorana combo deck. So now we're up against Dagoth in a likely mid-mirror, but who knows. We're going to throw those back. I think we'll keep the Gambler. Giant's a late game card, and Prophecies being in your deck are typically better. And overall, I like where we're at. I'd like to find a quality 2-drop that I could play proactively here. And you were not that. Because this next turn, we're for sure playing Gambler, likely just chucking our Shadow Shift. If they pass here, it'll tell us a lot about the kind of deck we're playing against. And I think they're thinking the same thing.
Just give me a name.
Alright, so they played a Brotherhood Slayer.
Care to make a friendly wager?
We are going to do exactly what I said we were going to do. Now we're extremely punished by Earthbone Spinner,
Nothing personal.
but Crushing Blow's not that big of a deal. I mean, not really.
By the fires of oblivion.
The reason Earthbone Spinner would have been bad is it would have been another body on the board, would have still prevented us from drawing, and then they could have also got the contract out of it.
It's nothing personal.
Alright, we're relatively okay with that, I think. We're going to play the hand either way.
Submit or come
Just
to
trying to
die.
decide. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the swing in, because we're going to take some more damage here. But Lightning Bolt gives us flexibility on whether or not we have to give them Maroon next turn if we don't want to. Going up to 6. Ransack, huh?
It's nothing personal.
Let nothing through. Close ranks.
I mean, I understand it, but I kind of don't.
Out upon it. This might be handy.
Alright. So we'll go ahead and do that because it gains us a ton of health. Now they can get a contract with the trade here. There is also an argument to be made where we could have attacked and then just battle maced it, but they're clearly like an aggressive list.
It's nothing personal.
I'm ready
Yeah.
for you.
We're just gonna do this and then Cradle Crush to clear, because that puts us at even health, 17 against 17, but we've got a better board. And we have a lot of reach in hand, so...
Sir,
It has been written.
Wow, interesting. It might be even be straight up like prophecy. Dagoth, that's not something that I had considered. Well, here we go.
Killing you will make
That's
an
all right.
excellent story.
And it should be game unless they hit Dark Harvester. So solid showing from Dagoth. For us, anyway. We did not get to see the Extortionist in action, but this is a tried and true list. Doesn't really need to see the Extortionist. Like I said, overall, I really feel like Blood Dragon's going to be better for this. It would be neat to use the Extortionist to ramp up into some bigger threats, in my opinion. But fighting for control of the board and having the 7 health on the Blood Dragon, being able to avoid guards, in this list in particular, I think it's likely to be more impactful long term. But anyway, there you go. Mid Dagoth, and just because you haven't seen it in a while, and we tried to make the kitty work. Thanks for watching. Until next time, may you walk on warm sands.